here. I'm as an IPv6 Forum Hall of Fame recognized there for IPv6 deployment. I've been working with the U.S. government since 2000, since before 2005, but 2005 when the first memo came out. And one of the reasons, as I'm hearing everything going on with the growing pains from the continent of Africa, not just the government, but the continent of Africa, it's the same problems. And the other problem that exacerbates this is that every individual government must get their hands around it first and then say, here's our position to get to the next point. Your data governance that the UN, that I saw in chat, the data governance component that the UN is sponsoring is a wonderful thing. The point, though, is the large language models. And on the large language models from AI, one of the things that we're finding out that everybody speaks English in America, but it's American English, and there's idioms and there's syntax changes, which of course is interesting when you're trying to teach an AI model to go after data. So there's those things, but the US government problem is its vendors. It's the vendors getting to IPv6. For example, Azure Cloud. We have problems with Microsoft and Azure Cloud. There's other vendors from a cybersecurity perspective that choose to use NAT by another name to obfuscate subnets behind them. It's not NAT, but it's the same thing as NAT. And then the other thing is our application developers. They've got to stop coding to only use IPv4. It's got to be either protocol independent using fully qualified domain names in DNS, or then just start coding and using IPv6 versus IPv4. That's a very, very, very tough thing to do from vendors and also internal to our governments. Whether it's federal, state, local, tribal, those people who are contracting have to understand IPv6 and what we have to do. So everything I'm hearing here, you're stepping out smartly, you're doing the right thing. And in doing the right thing, my suggestion in chat was to create a roadmap for Africa. Can you do that? Absolutely. Is it the right thing to do? It gives everybody a chance to go ahead and see what's going on and get the stakeholders involved. Because as soon as you get the stakeholders involved and everybody goes, well, this is what we tried, this didn't work over here, how's it working over there? So you have these communal opportunities to come together and say, here's our successes here, here's our failures here. And remember, a failure is not truly failure if you don't learn from that mistake. Was that my 5 minutes? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Great work. I'm here, and I always want to come back and talk about things such as this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That is a very nice piece of advice. I will stress more on working on a roadmap for the continent. But also, if we could start like region, sub-region, country-wise, where this task force could help work with the local institutions like ATU and so on, Smart Africa, to see how we can support those governments to create a roadmap, first of all, at the country level, and then a global roadmap for Africa. This will be something that is also very, very interesting. And then if building this roadmap, we also have like people who can help build the capacity in countries, because one of the things we hear people saying about not deploying IPv6 is the lack of capacity. We all know from experience that this is not true, but if people keep having this advice, then it's we can leverage on that to support, like have a capacity building program to empower engineers on how to securely deploy IPv6. And then that's how maybe even the roadmap that you come up with would now be able to be deployed. So thank you very much for the advice. And I also know that at Afrinic is having a program called the IPv6 Government Accelerator Program. It's a program that is focused more on helping governments to build to deploy IPv6 on the government infrastructure first. Because you cannot sell a technology that you yourself you are not using. We keep on talking to governments in countries, let's say in Nigeria, we talk to people to end networks, the small networks. You need to deploy IPv6, you need to deploy IPv6. But what happens when these small networks, they look at the government websites, there is no IPv6 on it. They look at the government infrastructure, there is no IPv6 in it. So even for the regulators to become legitimate in selling IPv6, in imposing IPv6 to the rest of the country, first of all, you need the government infrastructure to run on IPv6.